Welcome, welcome. Kate here. Glad you've decided to join me for yoga. Today we're going to be focusing a bit on the shoulders and the upper back. So I'd like you to have a strap. That doesn't mean that you have a strap, but if you don't, the nice thing is this is on YouTube, so you can pause me. Go ahead and get a belt or a tie, something that gives you some length so we can work our shoulders. We're going to be going forward and back. So if you don't have a strap or something like a strap, go ahead and pause. Blocks would be good as well, but not as necessary. We're going to start on our bellies. So come onto your belly. You have options. You can cross your wrists, put the forehead at the cross of the wrists. You can have your arms by your side, palms up, and turn your head to one side or the other. I'll remind you to turn your head in the other direction so you'll get opening both ways. So find what's comfortable for you, whether it's that crocodile pose or resting on one ear. Close your eyes and let yourself feel your body melting into the floor, relaxing down into the floor. Become aware of your breathing. And moving into our Samavriti, using a 3 count. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhaling, as you inhale, direct that breath into your upper back. Feel that expand. And exhale. In our Samavriti, we're aiming to balance the inhales and the exhales. So breathing in 3, feeling that upper back expand, and breathing out 3. If you've got your head turned to one side, continue breathing, and on your next inhale, turn your head in the opposite direction. You may choose to extend your Samavriti to 4 counts in and 4 counts out. Find which duration works for you. Feels very full and complete, and then allows you to empty out. So a couple more cycles of breath, quieting your mind. Then on your next inhale, bring your chin on your mat, your arms are out in a T, bend your elbows, come up onto spider fingers. We're going to flow into Cobra, Bhujangasana. Zip up your legs. We're using our back strength, not pressing into your hands. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale down. Lifting into that Cobra pose, using your back strength, rolling your shoulders away from your ears, and coming down. Again, pressing into your feet, squeezing your glutes, maybe coming up a little bit higher with each repetition. One more time. Lift up. Squeeze your glutes, press into your feet, hold this. Now drop your right shoulder, look to the left. And come up, other side. Drop your left shoulder, look to the right. One more time. Right shoulder down, look to the left. Opposite direction. Come down onto the mat, onto your chin or your forehead. We're going to take Ekabhuja 1. Right hand is out, right arm is out straight. Press into your right palm. Bend your left leg. Roll your left hip over the right. Your head can be down on the floor or in alignment with your spine. We're opening up the front of your right shoulder. So this may be plenty. Some people may bring their left arm around and bind. I'm not going to quite bind, but I'm in that direction. Some people even bring both feet flat on the floor. But find the place that makes sense, and this may be plenty. Be gentle with your shoulder. Press into that right palm. Coming back through center. Taking it on the other side, press into your left palm. Bend your right leg. Roll your right hip over your left. Again, head down the spine or head in alignment with your spine. Your right hand may be on the ground, maybe to your hip. Maybe you begin to move it back to bind. My shoulders aren't that open today. That's okay. Feel this in front of your left shoulder. You're pressing into your left hand. Come back to neutral and push up through table. Find your child's pose. Knees wide, big toes touching, sitting back on your heels, stretching your arms long, feeling that opening in the back side of the body. Then walk your hands over to the right, feeling that stretch all through the left side body, that space between the ribs. You can stack your left hand on your right if that makes sense for you. Then come back around to the left. You can even stack your right hand on your left, and you can use your left hand to pull your right arm forward a little bit if you like. Come back to center and inhale up to table, stacking shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Let's take some cows and cats. Really focus on starting with your tail part of your spine. So inhale into cow, starting by tipping your tail, coming through your mid-spine, your upper spine, then lifting up your gaze. Then coming into cow, rounding through the tail, through the mid-back, tucking in the chin. Take a couple more rounds with your own breath, at your own pace. Pressing into the floor and your shins as you come into cat. One more round. Then come to a neutral table. Let's give our wrists a little bit of love. So turn your hands to 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. That may be enough. If you have the space, turn your fingertips back towards your knees. And you may shift back and forward. Feel that in your wrists. Maybe your forearms are tight. Then turn your hands back to point towards the top of the mat. Flip the back of your left hand. Just gently gently press. Feel that opening in the wrist in the opposite direction. Then on your right hand, and we're going to come to puppy pose. You can keep your feet flat to the mat. You can tuck your toes if you like that better. Aim to keep your hips over your knees. You're walking your arms forward, maybe bringing your forehead to the mat. That may be way plenty. You may bring your chin. Some people who are very open will bring their chest. Opening up through the shoulders, engage your belly, breathe. Walk your hands back. We're coming to down dog. Tuck your toes, scoop your belly, lift to your downward facing dog. Find that intuitive movement. That means whatever's going to feel good for you right now. Lots of people walk their dog, pedal out their heels. Some people like to come forward to plank, then back to down dog. You can bend your knees, tip your tail towards the sky, then come back into your down dog. Whatever's going to help you open up in this down dog. Anything you've done on one side, even it out. Then in your neutral dog, let's take 2 cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose, sigh it out. Inhale through the nose, sigh it out. Then let's go ahead and come up on our toes. Walk to the top of the mat. Take your long spine, forward fold. Inhale your arms high, hands to heart center. So I'm going to face you so you can see where we're going. We're going to take Collie Mudra, so our hands are going to be interlaced with our pointer fingers pointing up. Sweep your arms high, interlace your hands, release those pointers, squeeze your biceps to your ears, get long through the side body, hips to the left, upper body to the right. Trying to keep your torso parallel to an imaginary wall or the wall in front of you. Come up through center. Take it in the opposite direction. Try to scoop your left armpit forward so that you're not bending down towards the earth. Next inhale, come up to neutral. Find your cactus arms. Maybe widen out your feet. Take a little back bend. Hips and thighs forward. Lift your heart. Nice. Exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen to your spine. Step back to plank. Taking a Chaturanga Dandasana, you may choose to come down to your knees. Come down. Inhale into your back bend, cobra or upward facing dog. We're going to exhale. We can come through table or plank. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale high up on your toes. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Long spine, forward fold. Sweep your arms high, hands to heart center. Moving through a full sun A. Breathe. Exhale. Inhale. Find what works for you. Move through your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to your back bend. Come to downward facing dog. And take those cleansing breaths. Inhale. Inhale. Inhale high on your toes. Step, or maybe you hop to the top of the mat. Long spine. Forward fold. Inhale your arms high. Hands to heart center. So taking Collie Mudra again. Arms overhead. Interlace your hands. Release the pointer. Biceps to your ears. Moving a little bit more quickly. Take it over to the right. Come up through center. And over to the left. Come up through center. Take those cactus arms and that back bend. Bring it high. Come to your forward fold. We're going to twist, so widen out your feet. Great place for a block or a book. Bend your right knee. Right hand is underneath your face. Left hand to your hip. Twist to the left. Great place to be. You can bring your arm to the sky if you really want to work with those shoulders. Come around to a half bind, or if you have the space, bring your right arm through and bind. Twisting, opening your heart. Release this. Long spine. We'll take it in the opposite direction. Left hand on the floor or a block. Bend the left knee. Twist to the right. So maybe a half bind makes sense for you, like this. Or you can play with a full bind. Bring your left hand between your legs and up, and you can bind. Twisting open to the right. Release your bind. Long spine. Forward fold. Heel toe your feet out. And we're going to take Malasana. I need that little extra height for my hips today. Sitting into your Malasana. Your knees are pressing in to your arms. Your arms are pressing into your knees, aiming for that nice straight back. Now we're going to do some upper body. So if that's going to be challenging with the Malasana, feel free to take a block and sit on the block. So you can be in your Malasana, but have the block for some additional support. You're going to inhale your arms overhead, interlace your hands behind your head. Inhale, open your heart, elbows back. Exhale, round. Open up and round. One more time. Open up and round. Hands down to the floor. Come into your forward fold. You can stay in your forward fold, or if you'd like to, come to your crow pose. Palming your mat, bending your knees, coming up high on your toes. Bend your arms to create those little ledges and begin to shift your weight forward. Scooping your belly. Gaze is down, not back. Some of you can jump back to plank, or you can step back to plank and decide, do I want to move through a vinyasa, or will I lift to downward facing dog? In your down dog, inhale through your nose, side out. Inhale through your nose, side out. Lift your right leg high, point your toes, spread your toes, create length. Open up that right hip. You can stay here, or you can drop that right foot and move into Wild Thing. You can stay in Wild Thing if you'd like. Circle that shoulder. A couple of times in one direction. A couple of times in the other direction. We'll meet back in 3-point. And find a low lunge. Right knee down. Maybe start with your hands on your thigh. Find your cactus arms. Little flow here. As we inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, melt into your hips, shoulder blades onto your back. 2. One more time. Moving into Hanumanasana, opening up that hamstring. Bring your hands down, terrific place for blocks. Scoot that right foot forward, straighten the right leg, left hip over left knee. Hinge at the hips into a forward fold to your degree. Blocks are on the floor. Press that right heel down into the earth and isometrically drag it back, moving that right hip back. Come back through your lunge, palm the mat. Find your runner's lunge. Come through cheetah. Lift the right leg high. Cross the right ankle over the left. Come forward to plank. This is a lot. Some people will be able to do a push-up. Go for it. You might also just bring your knees down and take the push-up. We'll meet back in 3-point. Right foot meets the left. Take a breath in down dog. Other side. Left leg high. Bend the knee. Open the hip. You can stay here. Come to your Wild Thing. Circle that left shoulder if you'd like. A couple of times. In each direction. We'll meet back in 3-point. Step through to your low lunge. Starting with your hands on top of your thigh. Taking that flow with our cactus arms. Shoulder blades down the back. Inhale. Exhale. And finding your half splits. Hands coming to the earth or those blocks. Scooting the left leg forward, right hip over right knee, forward fold. Pressing that left heel into the mat, isometrically dragging it back, as is the case with all forward folds. Don't let your belly just give up on you. Use your belly to help create that folding movement. Come out of your Ardha Hanumanasana, into your lunge, palm the mat, tuck the back toes, runner's lunge. cheetah, 3-point, cross the left over the right. Come forward to plank. Squeezing the thighs together, puffing up through the upper back. This is a ton. If you can do the push-up on your knees or not on your knees, on your toes, awesome. Come back to 3-point. Bring that left foot down to meet the right. Bring your knees down and find child's pose. Knees can be wide or knees can be together with your arms back, rounding. Just reconnect with your breath. Then come up to table. We're going to work with a forearm plank. So from your table, you can drop your forearms down to the mat parallel. Some people like to interlace their hands. Then coming to your forearm plank, think about your chin just about over your knuckles and come into your forearm plank. Try not to have your booty too high in the air. And then if you want to, you can play with moving from this to dolphin. So, lifting up and lowering down. Lifting up. Remember, you can be holding the forearm plank, that's fine. Lowering down. Lifting up. Try not to move your hands, your arms rather, or your feet. One more time. Then bring your knees down, the tops of your feet down, and let's take Sphinx pose. Pulling that length into your spine. Now you have options here. You can come to Dolphin Pose, which I'm going to show you. If you have forearm stand, you can come to forearm stand. So coming back to your table, come down onto your forearms. This time make sure your arms are parallel. Walk your knees in close to your elbows, tuck your toes, engage your core, lift your hips. Gaze is down. Some of you can lift up into forearm stand. For the rest of us, strengthening through your upper back and your belly. Three more cycles of breath. Bring your knees down. Come to your table. Taking a table twist. Open up to the right. Thread that right arm through. Come onto your left shoulder and your left ear. Walk your left arm forward. Breathe into this twist. Trying to keep your hips even. The twist is coming from your spine, not your hips. Bring your left hand back. Come through, open up on the right. Bring the right hand down. Other side. Opening up, lift your left arm. Thread it through, come onto your left ear and your left shoulder. Walk the right arm. the right hand back. Open up to the left. And come to table. Lifting up. Downward facing dog. We're going to come to a down dog twist. Widen your feet out. Perhaps shorten your stance. Right hand goes to the left ankle or calf or just under the knee, wherever it makes sense for you, and take your twist. Switching sides, left hand to the right ankle. Back to your down dog. Take your feet wide, toes pointing out, bend your knees, and we're going to hop up back into our Malasana. So again, we're going to do some arms. So if you want to really be able to focus on that and the lower body is more challenging, find your block or whatever you're using. Sit into your Malasana on the block. Now take eagle arms. Right arm underneath left. And find movement that feels good here. That can be lifting your elbows, lowering, circling can feel good. Whatever little movements feel good, feel like they're opening up in that upper back and shoulders. Then find your forward fold. Bending your knees, very passive. Just let your head hang heavy. Maybe sway side to side. Come back into your Malasana or your seat with the block. Other side, left underneath right. Find that movement, lifting, lowering, circling side to side, whatever feels good for you. Find that nice passive forward fold. Let your head hang heavy, a little bend in your knees. Let your upper body melt towards the earth. Then take a bend in your knees and roll up to standing. Nice. So standing at the top of your mat, rolling your shoulders. So bring your shoulders up and back and down, up, back, down, up, back, down. Then bring your feet together. Interlace your hands behind your back, but interlace what I call the weird way, the way that doesn't feel as intuitive. Sit into chair legs. Bring your chest to your thighs. Lift your arms high. And if you have the space, straighten your legs. Let your head hang heavy. Release the bind. Again, bend in your knees. Roll up to standing. So go ahead and find your strap or that necktie that you never wear or your husband never wears, or a long towel, whatever you're going to use for this shoulder work. And take a grip on that strap. We're going to keep our arms straight, so start out nice and wide. Give yourself space with this. Nice grip, just in front of the chest. Lift your arms up and behind you, and up and in front. And you can play with it, adjusting the place where you're getting opening, but you're keeping your arms straight and you're not creating pain, just opening, going back and forth. Next time you come overhead, take a side body stretch. Then through center to the other side. Come up to neutral, twist, and twist. Come back to center. Maybe you've opened up a little, you shorten the distance between your hands just a teeny bit, maybe not. Take a couple more rounds, forward and back. Nice. Go ahead and drop your strap. Keep it nearby, we'll be using it again. We're at the top of the mat, moving through your expression of a sun A. Inhaling. Finding your forward fold. Breathing length into your spine. Palming the mat, coming back to plank. You can lift to down dog, or you can move through your chaturanga dandasana, through your back bend of choice. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Right leg high. Point those toes, spread those toes. Step through to a low lunge. So lots of options here. Let's start by putting our left hand down, and again, that can be on a block. You're in your low lunge and twisting open to the right. You're going to reach back for that left foot. So bend the left foot, reach back with the right hand. Now if that's challenging, you've got your strap, right? So you can put a loop around your foot, she says. Really, you can. There you go. And do it that way. Lots of variations. If you're more open, you've got that connection with your hand. You come down to your forearm. Walk your right foot over to the edge of the mat, come onto the outer blade of your right foot and open your heart. That's the fullest expression. So I've given you a bunch of places to be. The simplest being this. So breathe into this. Couple more cycles. Come back to neutral. We're coming to pigeon. Walk your right foot half pigeon. Walk your right foot all the way over to the left edge of the mat. Anchor your right hip. Your right shin is parallel to the top of the mat. Long spine. Extend over your shin. Feel that open in the outside, opening in the outside of the right hip. Reconnect with your breath here. We're going to hold this for a little bit. This is a big muscle that gets very tight. It's actually more than one muscle, but it's an area that gets tight. 2 more cycles of breath. Hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your chin, roll up. Swing the left leg around. Now, I'm going to face you. For those of you who like it, I want you to come to Gomukhasana with your left knee stacked on top of your right knee, your hips grounded. But our focus is on our arms, so if this is not friendly for you, I would prefer that you just come to Sukhasana. Grab your strap. We're going to take Gomukha arms. Strap is in your right hand, right elbow to the sky, maybe use your left hand to bring it behind your head, and then your left arm comes around from below. If you're in full cow face pose with your legs crossed, you may scoop your belly and take your forward fold. This is plenty. Let me turn around so you guys can see what this looks like if you're not entirely certain. And if you can bind your hands together, go for it. That's fantastic. 1 more cycle of breath. Release your arms. Uncross your legs or bring your feet flat to the floor. Everybody's in a different place, I'm sure. Let's come to boat pose. Squeeze the thighs to the midline. Use your belly, not your hip flexors. Lift your feet. This is great. Pulling your belly in tight, nice long spine. If you have the space, extend your arms, extend your legs for 3, 2, 1. Cross your ankles. Come over your knees. Step back to plank. You can take a vinyasa or you can lift to down dog. We're going to meet in down dog. We'll take a cleansing breath. Inhale. Sequence on the other side. Left leg, extend through those toes, spread those toes. Find that low lunge. So we know where we're going here. Right hand is grounded, or again, a block is your friend. Start by twisting open. And you can stay right here if that's the best choice for you. Using a strap or binding with your hand to that right foot. Some of you may come down on your forearm and on the outer blade of your left foot and open up your heart. Release this with control. Coming to our half pigeon, walking that left foot to the right. Left hip down, left shin parallel to the top of the mat. If your leg isn't perfectly straight, that's fine. That will happen with time as your hips open up. Extend over that left shin. Feel the opening in your outer left hip. Focus on your breath here. Really go back to those inhales and exhales, counting if that helps you with your focus. Three more cycles of breath. Hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your chin, roll up. Swing that right leg around. So some of you are going to have right leg over left, and you're going to sit in Gomukhasana. If that's not a good choice for you, one, you can straighten your bottom leg, or you can just say, no, I'm going to really focus on the shoulders and take Sukhasana. The strap's going to be in your left hand, left elbow to the sky. Gently pull that elbow behind your head. Right hand comes up from below. And you'll feel difference from side to side. Gently press your head back into your arm. If you're in Gomukhasana, you may scoop your belly and take a fold. You can take a fold in Sukhasana as well if you'd like. If you're folded, come up. Release your bind. Bring your feet flat to the floor. Second boat pose. Thinking about not slumping down. Nice long spine, pulling that belly in tight. If you're feeling it here in your hip flexors, make some adjustments to try to feel it more in your belly. Lifting up. Long spine for 3 and 2 and 1. Feet down, cross your ankles, step back to plank. You can move through another vinyasa. We're going to meet in down dog. Now, in this down dog, once you get here, bring your shoulder blades onto your back, away from your ears. Assess, do your shoulders and your upper back feel a little more open? Hopefully the answer is yes. Then bring your shins down. We're going to come down onto our bellies on the mat. And we're going to take a prayer twist on our bellies. So thread your right arm underneath you, palm up. Bring your left hand on top of your right. Now as you move into this, the tendency is going to be for your left hip to lift. Aim to keep your left hip down and your twist is through your spine. So hands to heart center and twist. It's not easy. And if that's too much, you can stay here. That's fine. But aim to bring your hands to heart center, twisting through the mid-spine. See, my hip is coming up a little bit, so I'm trying to bring it down, feeling that twist. Release this, and we'll take it on the other side. So I'm just going to do this so you guys can see what I'm doing. So now, left arm comes through. We're trying to keep this right hip down. Right hand on the left, hands to heart center, or as close as you can come to heart center. As you twist open, but keep that right hip down. Release this. Push back to child's pose, but take your child's pose with your knees together, your ankles together. Tuck your chin around through your spine, arms are back towards the wall behind you. Come up to table. Take your feet over to one side and sit. If you have blocks, you're going to come to heart bench. If you don't, you're going to come to Supta Baddha Konasana. So let me show you that first. Very simply, soles of your feet together, creating that diamond shape. Roll down onto your spine. Maybe take your arms overhead. If you've got the blocks, set them up so that you've got one on the medium height. It's going to go, we always say bra strap. If you're a guy, that doesn't mean anything. Say the mid-spine. And then the second block is on the high level and your head is resting on it. So it's lifting up your heart. You can take your legs straight or that Supta Baddha Konasana, arms out to the side, close your eyes. Whichever you're in, just let it go. We're going to come down onto our spine. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, you can just straighten your legs. If you're in heart bench, use your hands to bring your knees together, hands behind your legs, pull yourself up, discard those blocks, and then go ahead and roll down onto your spine. Let's all take happy baby. We had an inversion with dolphin, but let's take a nice gentle inversion. You can bind to the outer blades of your feet or the inner blades of your feet, rocking gently side to side. You can straighten one leg for baby ninja, the other leg if you like. Just do what feels good. Then extend your legs long, taking a final spinal twist. So bend your right knee into your chest. Take it across your body to the left and look to your right. If you're feeling some congestion in your shoulder, scoot your hips over to the right a little bit. See if that helps you, puts you in better alignment to get a nice deep twist. Come back to center. Give that knee a hug. Extend your right leg long. Hug your left knee into your chest. Maybe scoot your hips over to the left a little bit. Take your arms out in a T. Knee to the right, gaze to the left. Come back to center. Give that knee a hug. Extend both legs long. Take your arms overhead. Inhale and stretch. Reach your fingertips, reach your toe tips. Get nice and long. Then exhale and find your Shavasana. Let your feet widen out. Let your arms widen out. Take up some space. Make any little adjustments so that you're comfortable, and give yourself this time to just rest, relax, and enjoy the effects of your practice. Begin to bring your awareness back to the room. Deepen your breath. Bring some small movements to your hands and your feet. Then once more, extend your arms overhead, stretch, and hug your knees into your chest, drawing circles on the ceiling in one direction, massaging your spine. Then taking those circles in the opposite direction. Then come over onto your side, whichever one makes sense for you, right or left, and just rest for a moment, using your arm as a pillow. Take a moment to be grateful for taking this time for yourself on your mat today or this evening. Notice how your body feels different. Notice if you're feeling more peaceful and calm and centered. Then push up to a comfortable seat, facing your monitor, keeping your eyes closed or your gaze cast down. We'll bring our hands to heart center and we'll join our energies virtually with the sound of one Om. Inhaling for Om. Namaste. Thank you so much. As always, please do leave comments if you have thoughts or suggestions or there's any particular thing that you'd like to work on. And I hope that all of you are healthy and hanging in there, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.